Hi guys, welcome back to the Atom42 Excel Academy. Today we're going to learn the index match formula, which is a slightly more powerful replacement for the VLOOKUP formula that you may possibly have used before. The index match is actually a nested formula with an index and then a match formula nested within it. Hopefully you have a rough idea about what those two formulas do by themselves. If you don't, check out the description for this video below and you'll see links to those videos which explain what the match formula does by itself. So if we jump right in where we left off, we had written an index formula, which, if we just remind ourselves, returns a value or reference of the cell at intersection of a particular row or column, and we had chosen this as our array, and we stick these cells using F4, which adds those dollar signs, which means that array will always remain static. And the row number for Richard Wood, he goes down 1, 2 rows, and age is across 1, 2 columns. Now this returns Richard Wood's age, but it's a little bit useless because if I wanted to drag this down to show the ages of all of these people, it's just going to return 51 5 times, which is not very interesting. If I wanted to make this value relative to the name next to it, I can replace one of these 2's with a match formula. I'm going to do this match formula over here, because that means I can check that it returns a valid number, that it's not an error. So the match formula returns the relative position of an item in an array. So if I look up that value, and that value is always going to remain in column G, and I'm looking that up in column A, stick that, and its exact match, that's going to return a 2, and that means I can replace the 2, if I control copy this, and I replace this 2 with the match formula. Firstly, it's just going to return 51 again, which is good. But what makes this more interesting is if I drag this down, the G4 in this formula will change to a G5, G6, G7, which means the age will hopefully be relative to the name. Alright. Now, if for example, I wanted to change Oscar Harrison to Thomas Hall, I could do that and the age would update. Hopefully you can see how much more powerful that is than a static VLOOKUP. The way to take this a bit further would be, you can see in this formula, we've made this bit dynamic, but the column number is still static. If I were to replace, say if I wanted to find out the employment status of these people, I could replace this 2 with another match formula. I match the column header, and that's always going to be in row 3. I'm going to match that in row 3 here. Exactly. These guys will remain the same, but if I drag this over, H3 will become I3, which will replace age with employment status. If I wanted to change this to annual income, it gives me it there. And actually I could add any rows that I wanted to. This becomes much more useful in huge data sets and in big daily reporting templates that we use. Hopefully you can see how powerful this is. It's not an easy formula to get your head around, so please practice it. And if you have any trouble, give us an email at excel@atom42.co.uk. And if you look in the description of this video, you can see the link to this sheet that I'm using. Thanks very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed.